Here's a bill that offers an opportunity for them. Why won't you vote for it? I'm not sure if I spoke to Todd Muller.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I rise to take a call to speak against the Youth Employment Training and Education Bill. Can I first acknowledge Derek Ball for reflecting on the opportunity to connect young people with the benefit of discipline and putting forward this. I also acknowledge that, as he shared with us when he first came here 2 3/4 years ago around his own life's journey, that the military was a key part of what he believes, looking back, has made him the person that he is today. And so I acknowledge that, and I appreciate that that no doubt was no small part in the thinking that you brought to this piece of legislation. But I do, Mr Speaker, have sort of 3 or 4 points that I'd like to explore with respect to this bill that underpins why I am not able to support it. Firstly, and it's linked to the previous conversation around how formed or otherwise this bill is. From what I can see, and there's very limited explicit information around this bill, this is hellishly expensive. It could potentially be 20 million, north of 20 million, even for a pilot for 500 plus people. And that is a significant cost, particularly when there's no detailed business case, if you like, to underpin it. You know, well, I've just been criticised, or our side has just been criticised about opposing something that's not perfectly formed. I would counter that, Mr Speaker, in saying that there is actually a threshold, in my view, of working through how the legislation would actually be operationalised, how it would actually work and the associated costs, which are reasonable to assume to have been done as one considers legislation for the first time. And in my view, Mr Speaker, that is absent. And is part of the reason for me personally that I can't support it. The second issue for me is there has been conversations already this afternoon that the LSV model does work, and it does. It's a short 6-week program, and for some of those participants it has been life-changing, and they have been able to move from that program after 6 weeks on to work and full-time work. But there's a significant involvement by MSD to be picking the individuals who are most likely to succeed within that LSV framework. And there's a significant amount of wraparound services that are provided by MSD for these people as they progress through the 6-week course. At the core of this bill is a vision that our Defence Force essentially has the capability, and indeed should prioritise their capability in providing those wraparound services and support over the 3 years that these students would be required to go through this program. Now, that is a very large leap in my view, and one that is not, I don't think, sufficiently substantiated to warrant support through a first reading. Because, you know, our Defence Force has a very clear mandate and are appropriately focused on delivering that for the benefit of New Zealand. Asking them to participate in a 3-year trial with the level of need that these people inherently require in terms of wraparound services, I think, Mr Speaker, is a step too far. And finally, the view, and it has been expressed and I agree with it, that is, in terms of priorities, the number one priority must still remain that we keep our 15 and 16 and 17-year-olds at school for as long as possible, to give them the opportunity to get access to as many skills as possible to enable them to move into effective employment. Finally, Mr Speaker, and this has, obviously a lot of passion behind it, but I think when you reflect on what we are currently doing, the significant amount of projects that the government has in this space, the intensity that LSV requires in terms of wraparound service, the assumption that is therefore a model that is best placed for our Defence Force to apply, I think is ultimately flawed, and that is why I'll be voting against. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Speaker. Tēnā koe te māngai o te whare, o tērā tēnā tātou katoa.